Good morning, good afternoon, from wherever you may be streaming live from. My name is Tiffany Daniel, and I'm an Army veteran of 26 years. While I'm talking, I'm going to give you some of the items you may need for your support, and that'll give you a chance to get them. So we won't really need any props, but if we're going to be standing and then we're going to move to the floor. If you are not comfortable with moving to the floor, getting up and down off the floor, then I will invite you to bring a chair into the group. And then also bring your blocks. So if you have blocks for some of these stretches that we are going to be doing, the blocks will help you as well. And when we get to close to the end for our guided rest, our body temperature is going to drop. So you may want to bring or have by you a blanket, a pillow, and even some hand towels. And I say hand towels because we can fold the hand towels for a supported back position. Okay, so you may want two to put on each side for the lower lumbar. Just some suggestions. We all know our bodies, right? And sometimes our bodies will surprise us and we will go a little further than we thought we could. But again, my name is Tiffany Daniel, Army veteran, 26 years. I've been teaching with Veteran Yoga Project since 2019. I will say that thank you for your service. Thank you for joining me and allowing me to share my practice with you today. As you all know, this is Veterans Gratitude Week, and we are here to raise funds for our cause to support you and I. Okay, so if you'd like to donate, you can do so at veteransyogaproject.org, or you can text VYP to 707070. They made it just that simple for you, okay? But please support us, because what you may not know is most of our instructors volunteer because we know that we all need what we provide in these classes. So we want to keep Veteran Yoga Project alive and thriving. So we need your support. All right. So hopefully that gave you enough time to grab your chair. Oh, I forgot water, towel, blocks, whatever you may need. Let me look at my clock to see where we are, and let's get ready to begin. So I'm going to ask you to stand up with me. If you took a seat, all right, stand up with me as we prepare to stretch or just move our bodies gently. This is a gentle flow. Place your feet right under your hips. I have a sticky mat, so every now and then you may see me do a little motion like this, because when the feet start sticking to the mat, it sometimes makes it hard to move, but sometimes it's helpful, because then I don't have to worry about my feet sliding, okay? But once you've placed your feet directly under you, ground them. So let's just rock back and forth a little bit from heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe, grounding our feet, and also starting to stretch our calves. And we're going to do this 2 more times. So 2 more times up on the toes. 1 more time. And now I'm going to ask that you ground your feet and bring both your hands or your palms over your heart. Let's just give a moment of gratitude here. But while we're giving that moment, I want you to focus on your heartbeat. Feel your heartbeat. Not just being thankful that we are present in this day, we're here together, but focus on the rapid beat, the beat itself. Is it beating rapidly? Because we just moved some large muscles. You may have also rushed to go and get the equipment that I asked you to get to join us. And once we start our stretching, synchronizing it with our breath work, then you're going to notice just how fast you take control of your breath. Right now, with that being said, I'm going to ask you to drop your arms, drop your hands, your palms down beside your waist. You can have palms up, palms down. It does not matter, because we're going to start to move. Okay, we're going to place our left hand under our belly button, holding our abdominal area here. We're going to start with our deep breathing. So as we breathe in deeply from our abdominal area, you're going to feel your diaphragm rise up underneath your lungs. And as your diaphragm rises, your lungs will become full with air, your shoulders will broaden, and for me, my chin comes up a lot of times. And that's how I keep my posture, making sure that my posture is straight. But please join me. So place your hand under your belly button. And as we take our first deep inhalation together, we're going to raise the right arm up beside our ears as we inhale, bringing that tummy in, all right? And then we're going to drop it slowly as we exhale, feeling the air come into the palm of our hands, back into that abdominal area. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times because I was talking through it. So let's do this together as we inhale and exhale. One more time with the right hand. Inhale. And exhale. Now I'm going to turn back to the front as we switch hands, placing the right hand now over the abdominal area, grounding our feet, and prepare to take a deep inhalation, raising our left hand at this time. So let's inhale and exhale. I should have said this on the other side, but try to make that exhalation longer than the inhale, okay? So let's inhale and exhale. Right, now I'm inviting you to drop the right hand to your side, and we're going to begin with both arms coming up now, both arms beside our ears, doing the same thing. So as we inhale, bring the arms up. Remember, bringing that abdominal area in, allowing that diaphragm to come up. If you can, prayer, place your hands together for prayer. And as you exhale, lengthen the exhalation while you drop your arms to the side. Now, you may need to drop your arms a little faster because when you run out of air with that exhalation, your hands should be back to your side. So without me talking this time, let's try that 2 more times. So let's inhale. Exhale. See, my arms had to speed up that time. Let's do that once more together. Inhaling. And exhale. All right, now I'm going to invite you to place both hands back over your heart again. And do you feel a difference in your heart rate with just those 2 breathing exercises? That's what this tool is used for with our breath work. All right, so now dropping our hands back to the side, let's continue our gentle flow. This time we're going to raise both hands up into prayer as we inhale, and we're going to lean to my right, your right as well. So it doesn't matter if you're matching me in the camera, but when we lean, we're going to do what's called a half moon, and you're going to exhale. So let's exhale as you lean. And as you lean, you want your ear to be over your shoulder. And if you were to look down, you would look right into your tricep muscles there, or to the floor, right to the side of you. So that means your side is in line with your side, all the way down to your feet. So we're not leaning forward and we're not leaning back, okay? So I'm going to turn to the side just to give you a demonstration. And there's my sticky mat moving with my feet. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's inhale. And I'm going to lean to my right, exhaling. And as we come back up, inhaling. And let's go to the opposite side this time. As we exhale, feeling that stretch along the obliques, feel that nice stretch along that side. Inhaling, coming back up and back to the right as we exhale. And this time, see if you can lean a little further, elongating that stretch without leaning forward and without leaning back. All right, inhaling. And to the opposite side, exhaling. All right, with that stretch, your heart rate is going to start picking up. Your temperature is going to start to pick up. Let's exhale, dropping those arms. We're going to go to the lower body now. All right, so I'm turning back around as we ground our feet. I am going to ask that you shift your weight to the left leg as we cross over the left leg with the right. Once that right foot is grounded, we're going to raise our arms. Let me move over a little bit. We're going to raise our arms, shoulder length. So it's elevated just as high as our shoulders are. And we're going to do a good morning. So that means, sort of, ladies, you may be used to sort of a horse seat, but we're just going to lean forward as we inhale. And we're not going to break the plank. So that means we're going to lean forward, trying to have a flat back, just a flat back. Okay, so we're not reaching for the floor or anything, but we're stretching those muscles in our legs now as we prepare to add on. And as you inhale again, come up. And let's do that once more. So we're going to inhale as we move to the center. And once we reach that flat back, we're going to exhale. And then we're going to inhale as we prepare to bring our body back to a standing position. All right, dropping the arms and preparing to shift the weight to the right leg. So let's uncross the right leg from the left. Ground that right foot now, shift our weight, and now invite the left foot to cross over the right. We're going to do the same thing, but you're going to feel that stretch in the calves and maybe even the hamstrings as well. So let's invite our arms to come up. And as we inhale, leaning forward. Feel that stretch. Just stay there for a moment. And exhaling while you're here, and inhaling, preparing to breathe. So you may even, if you are stretching with that back leg straight, then you'll feel the stretch, not just along the back of the leg, but maybe even in the hip flexor as well. So let's try that again. Let's inhale. Exhaling, once you reach that flat back, holding it here. And let's inhale as we come back. All right, then we're going to drop our arms, uncross our legs, and ground both feet back on the mat. Then we're going to go for a forward fold. And all of that is we're just going to reach for the floor. We're going to bend from our waist, but of course, you know, the arms are going to be engaged. So we're going to inhale as we bring our arms up. And as we exhale, we're just going to drop to the floor. And we're going to reach for the ankles first as we are waking up. We're waking up those muscles. And let me just add on. This is where you may want to bring in your blocks if you like to. So you can start with the blocks in this position. As we come down the second time, if you are feeling that stretch, you can change the position of the blocks, okay? And if you are limber already and you just want to go straight to the mat, feel free to do so. So let's raise back up. Just rolling the back as we come back up, rolling the shoulders. And as we exhale, pushing the palms down, releasing the air. And let's do that a few more times. So let's inhale, forward fold, with or without the blocks. Bringing the chest as close as you can to your lap. Moving here. As we inhale, rolling the back. Rolling the shoulders and exhaling. 2 more times, if you will. Inhaling. Forward fold. Reaching a little further this time. Exhaling. Let's inhale, rolling the back. Rounding the back, I should say. And then we're going to roll the shoulders, pardon me. Rolling the shoulders. Pushing as we exhale. And for the last one, if you had the block already, try to move that block out of the way and just see how far your body will allow you to reach, okay? So let's inhale, exhale. As you're exhaling, bring the head in, bring the chest to the lap. If you can, place those palms on the mat. And this time we're gonna bend in the knees as we push through our bum, not our knees. Tightening our quads, tightening our glutes, and pushing through the hamstrings and the quadriceps as we stand back up. All right, so how'd you do? Okay, so now we're gonna move to the floor. Okay? As we move to the floor, if you have the blocks beside you, gently slide the blocks over just a little, just for a moment. We will engage them again. Bringing our feet together. Let me turn to face you. Bringing our feet together. Holding at our ankles. If you can, placing your elbows in your joints. If you cannot, just leaning your forearms against your legs, around right beside your knees. And let's hold the ankles as you pull the ankles in, pushing with the arm to stretch that inner thigh now, stretching that inner thigh and holding it here as we breathe in and release. See if you can push a little more as we release. And let's inhale again and release. Now, the reason most of you probably reach for your feet, but I don't want you to pull your feet. That's why I say grounding, holding the ankles. Again, inhaling and release. Each time you release, pushing a little more. Inhaling one last time. And release. Okay, now we're going to bring our knees up, flatten our feet. And this time we're going to bring the right leg in towards, so the foot is going to come back towards our bum. The right foot is going to cross our knee. Okay, so it's going to cross our knee. So in the knee, we're going to try to keep our spine up and in line with our knee as well. Now for this pose, you can either hug the knee as we turn and place our right hand behind our back and then turn our chin towards our shoulder. So you can hug the knee or you can place the elbow on the knee, over the knee, and twist your body in the opposite direction, twisting over the chin. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side, okay? And that way it's going to be a little harder. So as we come back to center, now we're going to twist the opposite way. So I'm going to hug that knee this time and turn as I twist my spine, bringing my chin over the left shoulder now. And as I exhale, I'm going to come back to center. Now I'm going to switch legs. So release the left leg, bring the right leg over. And now let's tuck the left leg back inside the bum, crossing the right leg over the left this time. And same thing, hugging that knee or bringing the elbow up and over. But let's put that rear arm in place so that it's behind us. Let's hug that knee in as close as we can and twisting, turning over the shoulder. And come back to center. Now bring that rear arm back because remember we're switching. We're switching, so hug that knee in. And if you are limber enough to cross over with that elbow, please do so, all right? Turning the chin and bringing ourselves back to center. Okay, so now that we've twisted our spine, I'm going to ask that you turn on your knees. And if your knees are a little sore, you can always grab a blanket to help cushion your knees. So that's the second use of that blanket. If you need to put a cushion between you and that mat or the floor, okay? So once you're on your knees, we're going to place our palms flat under our shoulders. Your feet can lay flat. You don't need to have your toes in a supported position just yet. So flatten your toes as well. We're going to extend our arms out just a little bit as we start to bring our torso down. So our knees are under our hips. We're going to bring our torso down because we're going to put our chest on the mat, okay? So bringing your arms out so that you can space yourself enough to bring your chest down to the mat and your chin will touch as well. And while your chest and your chin are touching the mat, you're feeling that stretch along your back. You're going to take a few breaths here as I inhale, just gently as I release my body from all that twisting we just did. So now we're going to come up on the knees. And this time we're going to bring the hands in and the knees up just a bit. So for me, I straddle my knees across my mat, bringing my feet together. And then I'm going to come back on my feet, or as close as I can get, to resting my bum on my feet. We're going to spread those arms out again. And this time we're going to put our forehead towards the mat. So not the chest this time. Now we're stretching the upper back. This is our relax mode. So anytime we go into a pose that you don't feel comfortable with, you can always come back here, which is called a child's pose. So this is our rest area, or as I like to say, just stretching my back and getting out of all those twisted knots there, okay? So I'm going to come back up on our knees. As I bring my knees in, bring my hands back in. This time I'm going to curl my toes. And when I curl my toes, that is a signal that we are about to go into a supported position. So I need my toes to lift my body. As I lift my body, we're going to come into what I like to call an upside down V. All right. But for yogis, you already know the name of this. So we're just going to use our hands, our knees, and our toes as we prepare to lift our bodies. Your feet don't have to be flat, okay? So don't worry about that. But just relaxing your head between your arms. So while we're in this position, we're going to pedal a little bit, stretching our legs, or stretching, should I say, the calf muscles and any IT bands and anything that may be in there, as well as the Achilles. And for those that even may have like plantar fasciitis or torn ligaments there, sometimes this stretch, when the doctor tells you to stretch against the wall, put your foot against the wall, or rolling on a bottle, this stretch right here will help as well. All right, so we're going to do this 4 more times. So I'm going to count down for 4, each foot now. 3, 2, and 1. All right, now stay here, because now we're going to reach for our knees. So I'm going to take my right hand and reach for my knee. Plant my right hand back down, and then do the same with my left hand. All right, so when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to join me for an 8 count. Okay, so please join me as we begin. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, halfway there. You're doing great. Halfway there. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so bring the hands back down, flat to your mat. All right, then we're gonna bend the knees here. We're just gonna bend, placing our chest on our knees, holding it here, just giving those muscles a break, just giving those muscles a break, resting, and then we're gonna come back up. Now, I'm gonna ask you to extend the hands, so walk the hands out as we move into plank. All right, and then we're gonna gently lower our bodies. And I'm gonna move those blocks, lower your body. So once your body is flat on the mat, we're gonna place our hands under our shoulders. You can flatten your toes. We're not gonna lift from the toes. We're not gonna lift our body right now. But as you place your palms flat on the mat, we're just gonna push the upper body up, leaving the shoulders and the elbows bent, leaving the shoulders over the hands, the elbows bent. I'm gonna come back down. This time we're going to extend the arms. All right, so we're gonna stretch the back, stretching the back in the opposite position, holding it here. And we're gonna come back down. This time I'm gonna ask that you curl your toes. What I'm doing is giving you 3 options for a back stretch as you arch the back as well. So as you curl your toes this time, we're gonna push up and we're gonna lift our entire body just a tad bit off the mat. It's your option. You can stay here with the arms extended, or for those of you that may like a little advancement, bring the body up just a little. Holding it here, let's bring the body back down to the mat. Bring the upper body back down to the mat. Now I'm going to ask that you release the arms. Bring the arms to your rear and place your chin on the mat. Now, once your hands are back, I'm going to ask that you put your forehead on the mat. Okay? And if you're comfortable there, or if you're not, you think you can't breathe. If your forehead is on the mat, your mouth still has room and your nose still has room to breathe. I don't, because I'm talking to you, right? So I'm going to place my chin. But for you at home, please place your forehead on the mat. Now, with our hands behind us, to our side right now, just to our side, our palms are up. We're going to raise the lower portion of our body. So we're just going to raise our feet just a little, like you used to do 6 inches for those of you that used to work out, work out just 6 inches, but in the opposite direction. So tightening the glutes, tightening the hamstrings and the quads, holding it there, definitely a core workout, and releasing the legs. Now we're going to bring the torso up just a little bit, a few inches. Bringing the torso up. Again, core, glutes, same muscles are tightened here. All right, and release. Now, you got it. We're going to do both at the same time, okay? So this time, our hands are going to come off the mat. Our legs are going to come off, our feet are going to come off the mat, and our chest is going to come off the mat. So when you're ready, I invite you to join me as we come up. Definitely a core and back workout here because our body is grounded by our core. So holding it here and release. Now for those of you that may want a little advancement, bring the hands behind your back. And we're going to do that same pose, okay? So my hands are getting sweaty and my towel is already over there. So please forgive me as I wipe my brow here and prepare for our next movement. So when you are ready, on 4, 3, 2, 1, let's raise our body, holding ourselves again by our core. And for 4, 3, 2, 1, release. All right, release your hands. And this time we're going to allow our shoulders to come towards the mat. So you can turn your head to the right or to the left, allowing your ear to lean or to rest, I should say, on the mat. allowing your shoulders to relax, your back to relax. And let's take a few breaths in. So inhale with me. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. All right, we're going to prepare to lift our bodies. So what do? Curl the toes. That's right. And bring the palms back under our shoulders. And we're just going to raise to our knees first, okay? So we're going to raise our bum, our body, our whole core, our torso to our knees. We're going to bring our knees in and our hands in for our tabletop. So now we should have a flat back as we're on all four, our knees and our palms. But we are going to, we're going to shift our weight to the left knee as we prepare to lift the right knee. And I'm going to ask you to just extend your hands just a little past your shoulders, because we're going to lean and we're going to come down into a semi push-up from this position, okay? So as you shift your weight to your left leg, we're going to bring the right leg up. We're going to bring the right leg up towards a fire hydrant, but we're going to reach that knee towards our elbow. And yes, we move the elbow up. So that means the knee is moving up more, and we're getting that crunch in that side there, okay? But that's not it. That's going to be the first, okay? And let's do that 2 more times. So if you join me before I add on, okay? So join me here as we shift our weight to the left. Bring that right knee up. You can bring it straight up if you like to, or you can reach for the elbow. So we're going to do that 1 time and 2. Last one, because we're going to add on. So this time, come back down to your knees. As we add on the right side, when we bring our knee to our elbow, we're going to, like I said, do that half of a push-up. So we're not going all the way down for a military push-up for our chest to touch the floor, okay? Because I don't want anybody to topple over. We're just going to bring that knee up and crunch with those elbows, okay? Just like so. And that's going to be a full 1 count. So when you're ready, I will ask that you join me again. 3 options. 1 is straight up to the fire hydrant. The next one is in to the elbow. And the next one is if you want to add on for all 3. All right. So with that being said, we're just going to do that 2 more times on the right side. And then we're going to switch to the left. Okay. So when you're ready, at the count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. And again. And rest. We'll ground that knee, switching our weight, or shifting our weight, should I say, to the opposite side. The same thing. So just straight up for fire hydrant, or in towards the elbow, or all the way. All right, for that push-up, strengthening the upper body as well as the core. Okay, so on a 4 count, we will begin. And you choose, and let's do 3. That way, you can do 1 of each. How's that sound? All right, so on 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fire hydrant, down, knee to elbow, and back down. Last one, knee, elbow, push up, and back down. Okay, so do you think we need another stretch for our back? Let's go back into our child's pose and rest. Holding it here while I check my time. All right, doing good. Hold it here and just breathe and rest, stretching the back. And this time, as we come up on all 4, I'm going to ask that you bring your right leg forward. So bringing your right leg forward, bending at the knee. I'm going to ask that you lean without the knee going over the ankle, so you may need to move that foot out some. You're going to lean forward. Again, you may still need the towel if you were using the towel. And if you weren't using it already, you may want to engage it because now we're on one knee. So if you want to add the towel, we're going to ask that you not be on the top of your knee, but you lean towards the front of your knee here. All right? So leaning forward. So we're not straight. Again, we're leaning forward on the top of the knee with this knee not passing the ankle. So just holding it here for a moment, breathing and feeling that stretch in our quadriceps there, just feeling that stretch. Now I'm going to demonstrate where we're going next, and then I'll come back and give you a 4 count before you join me. So where we're going next is we're going to bring the left hand, which is the leg that is back. We're going to bring that left hand back towards the knee, and we're going to bring that right hand up in a slight arch in the back. We're just going to hold it here, and that's going to be our stretch. And if you are uncomfortable or you start to wobble too much, just stay here, but lean forward, arching the back a little more. And this is also a place where you can engage. You can engage the blocks. I can't reach mine now. Shame on me. I apologize. All right, but this is another place where you can reach the blocks, and you can bring the block right under that that left hand, since the left leg is back. And instead of bringing that arm back, you can bring the block right here and just lean forward, holding the block. Okay. So 3 options for you. All right. On a count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that rear arm, that left arm, back behind the knee. Bring the right arm up. Let's hold it as we breathe for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Let's spread. Allow that right leg now to go straight out as we stretch the hamstring this time. Okay, so coming back on the left knee, bringing that right leg out. Now we're feeling that stretch on the opposite side of that leg, holding it here. If you can, come up, bring the hands higher, dropping your chest closer to your leg. Hold it there to feel a deeper stretch. Again, blocks on both sides here, and you can come in more, feeling that stretch along that hamstring. So let's hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to switch legs. Okay, so bring your right hand in, your left hand, both hands, palms down. Bring that right leg to the rear. Shift our weight to the right leg now, and let's bring that left leg forward. Bringing it through the hand. And again, we're going to come on the top of that knee, not the full knee, okay? And I'm going to spread my leg out just a little because I feel that knee bending too much. So I don't want that knee to cross that ankle. In other words, I don't want to have that knee facing forward. When you're ready, you can bring the blocks back in place, or you can come up on your knee here. And on the count of 4, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the right. So that means the right hand now is going to go back behind the knee. So when you're ready, please join me on 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that arm back, feeling that stretch, opening up that shoulder and coming up. Arching the back, holding it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, are we ready to stretch that leg on the opposite side? You bet. So let's come back on that right knee, stretching that left leg. If you have the block, bring the block back with you. If you're a little more flexible, bring that chest down to that thigh and hold it there. See, we did more on the right because I was explaining more. So let's give this left side a chance to stretch just a little more. And I'm going to count down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So now we are going to do the same thing. Remember what we did? We brought the left hand in, palms down, gently bring that right foot back. Now we are going to curl our toes and go into, move back into that upside down V. So we're going to push between the hands and the toes coming off our knees. And instead of jumping, I'm going to ask that you walk up to your hands, forward fold, holding it here, bending at the knees, and again, pushing through the glutes and the hamstrings, pushing our way up. As we come up, rising, placing our palms together, and bringing our hands down to prayer mode. So now, if you'd like to come back to the back of your mat, I'm going to grab my towel right quick. All right, and let me grab my blocks, bring them back inside. Okay, so now we're on our feet. Sticky mat has moved. Place our feet back under our hips to ground yourself in this standing position. I'm going to ask you to join me in one more forward fold, and then we're going to move into some standing poses, okay? So if you would, bring the arms up, forward fold. Let's see if we can bring the chest closer to the thighs this time, or the hands closer to the mat, because we've stretched out our legs now. So bring it in. And if you can, just allow your head and your arms to hang, okay? We call this like a rag doll. I know my hands touch the mat. Yes, they do. So if your hands touch the mat, you may want to clasp your elbows here and just allow your head to hang. Just hang. Try to keep those legs straight, feeling that stretch, and just hang there. All right. I'm sounding a bit nasal doing that, so I'm just going to try to let them hang like that. All right, we're going to move, just twist our body to the right. Just hanging there, feeling that stretch. Coming back to center. And then to the left. Oh, I think that feels so good. Coming back to center. Rolling our body, one vertebrae at a time, rolling our back up. All right. And as we roll the shoulders, if you were here with me from the beginning, what are we going to do? Yes, we're going to exhale, pushing the hands down. Now, we're going to bend at the knees. Again, not putting any pressure on the knees. Remember, the pressure goes here, on the glutes, and in the quads and hamstrings, holding it here. So if you would bring your hands up beside your ears, and let's take a seat in our chair here, in our chair pose. Find something to gaze at that you focus on in front of you, holding your balance here. We're going to bring the hands together into a prayer mode, and we're going to move the left elbow across the right. Well, mine is the right because I'm going to face you, okay? So we're going to bring that left elbow across the right leg, and then I'm going to gaze up at my ceiling or either at you and hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring my body back to center and going to the opposite side. So excuse me, bringing that elbow across, holding it there, gazing up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, and if you can, bringing the arms back up beside your ear, finding something to focus on. As we raise up, we're going to drop the arms, and we're going to finally have our first mountain pose since we've been on the floor, right? All right, so we're going to add on to that chair, okay? So we're going to come back down into that seated position. And this time I'm going to ask you to raise that right leg as you sit. We're not going to advance this to cross, okay? We're just raising that right leg so that that left leg, the muscles in that left leg are being engaged. Hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. As you come up, drop the heel of that right leg and lift the heel of that left leg. And let's go back into that chair pose. Again, holding it here, coming off the knee, pushing back to the glutes, holding it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. One more time, dropping the left heel, raising the right, raising the arms, bending at the knee, pushing back into the glutes, holding it there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up again. Shifting, having another seat, pushing back into the glutes or into your chair. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Raising your body, your upper body, dropping the heel of that left leg. Come up on the toes with me. Hold it as long as you can as we inhale together. Come back on the heels, raising the toes, curling the toes toward you, just gently as we exhale. Again, come up on the heels, on the toes, inhaling. Back down to the heels, curling the toes toward you, exhale. Let's get this right. Try it 2 more times. Up on the toes, back on the heels, up on the toes. And I'm only moving my arms, I apologize, so you can see if you can't see my toes curling. And back down on the heels. All right, flatten your feet. And let's make our way to the floor. So have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. Now, before you have that seat, grab those towels and blanket or whatever you may need to support your back. And as we are down here, we're going to go into our guided rest as well. So I'm going to ask you to place your feet flat on your mat with your knees up. Scoot your body down just a little bit so that your upper body stays on the mat. We're going to bring our upper body down to our mat. Relaxing our head, our neck. And once your head and your shoulder blades are grounded on the mat, then make sure your body is centered. So you may need to adjust your torso, grounding your heels on the mat. I'm going to ask you to tighten your glutes. And once you tighten your glutes, then try to tilt the kegel, tilt your glutes up, tightening your core, tilt your glutes up towards you, which will allow your back to ground, that lower back to ground on your mat. Once you've done that, then release your glutes, release your palms down on the mat. Bring your heels in just a little bit closer to your bum. Hold it here. Now, if you're still feeling some uneasiness in your back or your neck, then remember, we did the towel roll with the hand towel. Just gently roll it and place it place them, if you have 2, on either side or in the center, depending on where you're feeling uncomfortable. Or if you need that neck support, then right there, just a little, not the pillow may be too much right now. Okay, so just a little support for you right in those areas. Okay, so as we are now grounded on our mat, I'm going to ask that you prepare to suspend your core. We're going to lift our core and just having our heels and our shoulder blades supporting our bodies. So on the count of 4, well, let me demonstrate first, okay? So we're going to raise our core or our torso up off the mat. And as you see, the only thing supporting it now is really my shoulder blades, because my head isn't really taking that weight. It's my shoulder blades here and my heels down here. So I'm going to come back down. And on the count of 4, I'm going to ask you to join me on 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lift as we inhale, holding it there, tightening the glutes. Now you may find that you're a little awkward, so I invite you to just scoot your heels in a little bit if you need that extra support. If you had too much sagging in the middle there, then bring the heels in so that your quadriceps can engage, your muscles, your larger muscles here in your legs can engage. And again, like I said, totally on the shoulder blades. And we're going to come down gently, basically one vertebrae at a time, okay? And as we come down, we're going to pop back up one more time. So coming up, and this is tightening the core, tightening the glutes. And this time we're going to come all the way down. As you come down, you may need to adjust those heels again to allow room for your whole upper body to land or to rest. And remember, if that back did not ground itself on the mat, remember what we did, the tilt to allow the back to engage over the bum, okay? So the tilt there, and then relax. Once you release your abdominal area and your glutes, I'm gonna ask that you bring your knees in towards your chest and hug them. Give yourselves a hug. Give yourselves a hug. And if the back is uncomfortable, or if you just want to join me, just roll just a little bit from right to left. And if you roll too far, you won't fall. Let the elbows catch you like so. If you roll too far, okay? So let the elbows catch you. All right, so just roll, and I call this DYI. So do it yourself as we need our back. So lower back massage there. So if you can get in this position anytime on your own, if your lower back is hurting you and the wall is not working, then a lot of times this will work for us. All right, so we're gonna stop in the middle here. I'm gonna ask you to drop the right leg. So let the right leg come out and put it flat on your mat. We're gonna bring that left leg into the chest, pointing our toes, just enjoying that stretch there. Pointing our toes. And release that left leg just a little bit and gently guide it over to your right, so across your body. And as we bring the right leg over, we're gonna bring the chin over the left shoulder. And if you can, just allow that right arm to lay flat out on the mat like so. And hold it here. 4, 3, 2, a little more if you can, and 1. Feeling that stretch in that lower back, and maybe even in the shoulders as well. So we're going to come back to center, bring the chin back to center, and bring the knee back to center. Once your back and your bum is grounded on the mat, bring the right leg back in to join you for that stretch, and then release the left leg out. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So again, gently guiding the right knee over, extending the right arm out, and allowing the chin to fall. Don't have enough room here to guide the right leg to the mat. Okay, hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center. Your upper body first. Bringing the legs over. Bringing that left leg up. Hugging yourself once more. Giving gratitude for all this movement you've done today. Stretching. And now release. Both legs, both feet touch the mat. And then extend them all the way out. If you'd like to do one at a time or both together. Extending them out. Extending them out, and you may need to find your pillow at this time and your blanket or your towels. Because we're just going to allow our body to ground here. You don't have to point the toes, you don't have to flex them. Let your heels ground on the mat. And as we take a deep breath in together, each time we exhale, we're going to release some of that tension that we're holding on to. Exhale. So each time we exhale, we're going to allow our body to ground on the mat. So we're going to start with our neck. So let's inhale and release from the neck, exhaling. So if you find that when you release from the neck, your head went up like this, that means you may want that towel under your neck or the pillow, okay? Or if the pillow is too much and you're like this, remove the pillow because that's causing more tension in the neck. All right, inhaling again, we're gonna move to our shoulders this time. So let's inhale and release the tension from the shoulders as we exhale. This time as we inhale, we're gonna go to those collarbones, all right, that have been supporting those shoulder blades and everything throughout all of this. So as we inhale this time and exhale, release the tension from the collarbones. So let's inhale and release. So you may feel like the inner core is like sagging or sinking into the mat. Now that's all right because you're grounded. Let's inhale and move to our bum. Let's inhale and release any tension that may still be holding our bum up off that mat. And exhale, release. And we're gonna go down to our knees, which is the center of the hamstrings, quads, and calves. All right, so let's inhale and release any tension still stuck in those knees. Exhale. Now to our ankles that may still be holding our feet up straight. We're gonna just release the ankles and allow our feet to drop either which way they desire to. So let's inhale and release. Let's come on back up to those wrists now. Let's inhale. Release any tension in those fingers, phalanges, and within the wrists. Exhale. Now for our elbows. Inhale. And release. Don't keep holding the arms up. Let them release. Now, however you are right now, you're just going to stay here. Breathing at your own pace. Feeling the air in the room as it circulates around you. Again, this is the time where your temperature drops. Your body may start to get a little cool. And if so, feel free to grab your blanket and just place it over your chest. I'll demonstrate like so. Just put it over the top of your body because that's where you'll probably feel the cool air most. Okay? So just hold it there. And I'm going to ask if you haven't already to soften your gaze by allowing your eyelids to look down at your nose, or if you like to close your eyes, if you're in a safe space, just close your eyes. You stay there. Stay there for as long as you can. And I'd like to reiterate to you that we thank you so much for joining us with the Veteran Yoga Project for our Veterans Gratitude Week. Please feel free to go to the website at veteranyogaproject.org. Look at all the classes that we offer for our veterans, first responders, spouses, caregivers for free, absolutely for free. I invite you to join us, go through the schedule and see what meets your schedule and join any of our instructors. They'll be so glad that you join them. And as we prepare to close this session, there's more sessions to follow on today and throughout the rest of the week. Okay, I think Our gratitude week will be ending, but our classes and our gratitude to you will not be ending. So again, I thank you for allowing me, for joining me in my practice today. My name is Tiffany Daniel, and it has been a pleasure. Namaste.
Thank you, Tiffany.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining Tiffany today. This is a really special class. I'm glad you were here. And this is part of our Veterans Gratitude Week at Veterans Yoga Project. This is happening every year around and on Veterans Day. So thank you all so much for joining us today. If you want to continue to support us, you can do that by visiting www.veteransyogaproject.org. You can find our classes on there. You can find a link to our app where Tiffany teaches for us. You can find trainings that we're doing, all kinds of stuff. So please find the resources you need, ask us if there's something else you need, and make your donations today to help support our mission to bring mindful resilience to our veterans and military families and communities all over the country. Thank you so much. See you later, Tiffany.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you always.
Always. Thank you.